Hello, Internet denizens. Welcome to Call Me Chato, where I get to talk about everything that is of interest to me, and hopefully is of interest to you. That would be a fine coincidence. Please, don't forget to subscribe and press the like button if you have not already. I have been told by many of you that YouTube has arbitrarily been desubscribing people. YouTube is desperately afraid of me becoming a powerful voice on this channel. Join me, and we can fight the system together. We are in the middle of a space tiff. Jeff Bezos has sued NASA. The big headline is because Bezos' Blue Origin lost out to Musk's SpaceX as the preferred private entry into a planned return to the moon. What Bezos is suing over is the procurement process managed by the Government Accountability Office, or GAO. Apparently, NASA had less money than anticipated, and SpaceX came in at half the cost of Blue Origins. Bezos had caught wind of this budget shortfall and offered NASA a $2 billion off deal, but only if NASA opened an Amazon Prime account and got set up for one-click $3 billion purchases. It also included 1 month free of Amazon Prime TV. I mean, how can you turn that down? NASA was probably short of loose change because they were still including their own space launch system, lovingly known as SLS, the multi-state, over-budget, behind-schedule system they have no choice but using because of several states run by governors who absolutely hate federal big government interference. Well, they would lose out on a ton of cash flowing in from federal big government interference. I really don't understand Bezos' histrionics here because the moonshot is not where the money is. It's in private satellite deployment. I can only surmise that this is a prestige thing. It also flies in the face of Jeff's much ballyhooed love of space exploration because these lawsuits only manage to delay the program. So, not so much love, but ego, I'd say. But if you're the richest man in the world who can pull out their Ridge wallet and personally discount a space rocket by $2 billion, then I think it's safe to say you're not paying your employees enough. Many were concerned when Gen X was rolled out to describe those born between 1965 and 1980. Gen X was then followed by Gen Y, 1981 to 1996, and then Gen Z from 1997 to 2012. But where does one go from Gen Z? Who in their right mind decided to start at X? You gave us only 3 total options before coming to the end of the alphabet, you stupid clod. But do not fear. The next cohort has been christened, and you are going to officially be called Generation Alpha. Your epoch will encompass 2010-ish to 2025. Perhaps whoever came up with Gen X thought it sounded mysterious. X. A definite split from the boomers that gave birth to you. After many all-nighters and copious amounts of booze, the people who come up with these marketing endeavors settled on Generation Alpha. And you know what? It sounds okay to me. Hopefully you won't be saddled with an alternative name like the Gen Yers had to live with. Millennials. No one has anything good to say about millennials. Well, except for millennials. Hopefully you alphas will fare better. As it stands, as far as generational power is concerned, baby boomers have 38.6%, Gen X 30.4%, the much maligned Gen Ys drop down to 14.5%, and Gen Z are at 3.7%. Probably because they are all riding for skip the dishes or still getting fitted for the right pronouns. It turns out that these alpha toddlers are already able to identify brands. Who knows what a generation influenced by influencers will generate? I'm actually frightened by the prospects. Tesla's autopilot tech just can't get itself completely sorted out. Each vehicle is equipped with cameras that monitor its surroundings and feed Tesla's neural network, which checks its library to determine if obstacles are in its path. Now, neural network makes it sound like it's learning and getting smarter all the time automatically. Apparently not. It only identifies patterns that's in its database already. They seem to be struggling with parked emergency vehicles, large perpendicular trucks in its path, and giant civets. Okay, I was kidding about the trucks. Not really. How does one park a truck perpendicularly? It doesn't seem possible. I'm telling you, if I ever saw a truck parked like that, even I would hit it. However, the ever-modest Elon Musk argues that the Tesla's autopilot is 10 times safer than the average driver. Well, 10 times safer is relative. When I was a teenager, I had my first car accident in my 1965 Chevy Impala SS with 283 V8. My tires were bald, and I lightly smacked the rear end of a 1966 Chevy Nova that was in much worse shape than my car. The trunk was so rusted out that its floor just fell to the ground in a heap of rust when I hit it. Anyway, it made the accident scene look pretty horrific. And I had to go to court. And when that day arrived, and I got to court, the judge was in the middle of listening to the testimony of a Portuguese woman dressed in mourning black. Her daughter was there translating for her. The judge asked the older woman what exactly happened. The daughter translated. She was traveling at the speed limit, Your Honor, and just lost control of the car. The judge then turned to the attending police officer. What was the result of your investigation, Constable? The constable pulled out his notebook and said, Well, Your Honor, based on the skid marks on the road, the defendant lost control at the 4-lane intersection, went through a red light, hurtled over a concrete median, into oncoming traffic, then hopped a curb, onto the grass embankment surrounding the shopping mall, into the parking lot, and came to a stop. The judge asked if he had anything to add. Yes, said the constable. The Ford Maverick was found on its roof, spinning, with the woman trapped inside. The judge turned to the old woman and asked, Are you sure you were traveling the speed limit? After a brief discussion between mother and daughter, the daughter turned to the judge and said, Yes, Your Honor. So my point is, 10 times better than that is really not very good at all. Thanks for listening, denizens. Till next time, be seeing you and safe driving. Don't drive a Maverick.